It's the Date Master, and yes, we're back. Today is January the 12th. We're now 21 days in. For those who have joined me in the 44 days of focus, that's no fried foods, no sweets, no red meats, no cannabis, no alcohol. And yeah, I think that's it. So, your body, you should feel the change. You should be down a few pounds, including your workout regimen. You should be glowing. But we're going to talk about something I mentioned in previous videos. Women, if you're looking at the conversation and listening to these conversations, the reasons why they don't need men is because they have a collective of men via social media. She doesn't need a man in her mind because she has Faazebook, and Instamagrams and Snapchat. You see these women, again, when you get on social media, take you some time off. Take you a couple of days off and go back to your social media and watch how you see the same exact women bombarding the space with nonsensical bullshit and just overall delusional rhetoric, per usual. I always have this saying that, I used to go out to the clubs every weekend and, I get involved with a lady and I kind of cut back on going to the club, and then I'll get back into that cycle and I'll see the same women that I saw before I took the absence still in the clubs doing the same shit. So it's a good possibility that during my absence, they were still in the clubs with perfect attendance. These women don't need a man because they have utilized these social media platforms into making them their digitized boyfriends and significant others. Now, what do I mean when I say digitized? When you look at these women, one of my guys, he made a post. He said, "Some of you have a great talent of stunting, begging, crying, and so forth, all in the same post." These women have monopolized social media. That's why their OnlyFans is jumping. That's why their inbox is jumping. See, the smart ones, they will get the money out of a simp. The dumb ones will just get dick and attention. To each their own. But I've said this before. Stop going back and forth with women on social media about relationships. Please stop it. You're not doing us a service. In fact, you are doing us a disservice. If you're going to have the conversation, let it be on a more professional and a more organized platform. That way it's recorded visually and for audio. So there is no filter. There is no script. If they want to have certain conversations, you invite them to the space that make that to where it counts, to where it can circulate. We have these meaningless conversations on social media, this back and forth banter. For what? For what? Because they're delusional. They're going to do everything they can to be right. They're going to lie. They're going to pad the facts. They're going to misconstrue what you state when your argument is rooted in fact. They're not going to listen. So why do we continue to engage the conversation? Leave them on the side of the fence that they choose to die on. They want to live alone. They want to die alone. They want to be absolved from any accountability in their part in their own plight. 30 plus, 35 plus, single, multiple kids, multiple baby daddies. They made their bed. You cannot save them with conversation. A person that wants change has to want to take accountability and responsibility for their own actions and choices. To have conversations with women that do not acknowledge such is futile. Why do we continue to have these conversations with women who we know are delusional and lost and will ultimately die bitter and alone? What is the point? And I know what it is. It is a sense of intellectual masturbation. It is a sense to where I now have found out some things that I can use in my argument that makes me feel superior. That's not the case. That does nothing for you. It's nothing different than a hotel or a person coming into the hotel information about Kemet, about the third eye and chakras, spewing it out every day because they feel more enlightened than the next person does. We must leave them be. Do not engage them. Do not interact with them. The only people you give your energy to are the people that are giving the same energy to you that you want to give. That is how we progress. It's not about being right. It's not about being wrong. It's about who's getting the results. We're now living in an era of information that people refuse to acknowledge. You can be almost anything you want. You can get it to any field that you want. You can teach yourself. You don't have to do the formal schooling. I'm teaching myself graphic design. I've been doing it for a little over a year, almost 2 years in April. And it's been quite lucrative for me. I still have a ways to go, but in the grand scheme of things, being self-taught and only being a year and a half in, almost 2 years, I'm pretty proud of that. But these women do not need a man or want a man because all they have to do is get on social media and send out a beacon, and it's going to attract betas. It's going to attract orbiters. It's going to attract simps. It's going to attract women. It's going to attract all parties that they feel the message relates to, or it's going to attract all of the parties they know it will attract. They just want the attention. DNA. Tommy Sotomayor said it best. They want DNA, dick, and attention. That's why you see, 40-plus-year-old women in everybody's comments. You see 40-plus-year-old women hogging up the social media space with nonsense and bullshit. Where's your legacy? Where are your children? Where's your home that you're building with a valuable man? Where's your purpose? I guess you're a social worker because you are always on social media talking and doing bullshit. And yet you guys continue to give your energy to these type of women. Why? You can't answer this question with logic. Why? You cannot save them. They can only save themselves. And in some cases, they can't even do that. In most cases, they can't even do that. As long as a woman has social, that's why when you listen to these platforms, again, use Fresh and Fit platform. It's raw analytical data. They ask these women pertinent questions. Would you give up your social media for the top guy that you are looking for? The provider, the alpha, the charismatic gentleman. These women will still say no because social media is their rest haven. It is a digitized boyfriend. All they have to do is send out a certain message, put out a certain picture, make a certain post, and it's going to attract simps, betas, and others alike like moths to a flame. Like moths to a flame. They are trying to monopolize, and they have done it, but they're definitely trying to monopolize the social media spaces into where men congregate to discuss their behaviors, to discuss the plights that they have had with women, to discuss their experiences. That's why they come out by the hundreds and thousands when a man of certain value conveys a certain message. They want to make sure they jump in to silence that message because other men are going to say, hey, I identify with that. Hey, that resonates with me. Hey, I remember going through you think it's a coincidence that me and my guys or guys that I don't know to that extent but have put out certain experiences, you don't think it's a coincidence that we have the same exact experiences with women from start to finish? I can almost call it like a referee calling a basketball or a football game or a commentator. I can almost tell you how your experience with, if you show me the woman that you're with, I can tell you what your experience is like, detail for detail, and be 96% accurate. You think this is a coincidence that I know this? It's not. So again, most men don't do inventories on their relationships. They just suffer in silence and they go to the next best thing. But when you notice, men and women do this a lot. When you look at their mates, the quality of their mates decline, decline, and decline, one after the other. The one, they go from a 123-pound woman, the next one is 150. That one doesn't work. The next one is 170. That one doesn't work. The next one is 200 plus. I know you see this trend because I do. And I ask you guys, ask these men, show me your high school girlfriends. Show me your girlfriends in college. Guaranteed they look nothing like their woman today. And this is because when you go through certain experiences in life, when you fall down on your face, such as I have, I made the choice to not stay there. I made the choice to not be demoralized. I made the choice to get up and try something new or try it again. And I walk around with my scars proudly, because if you don't have any dirt on your uniform, it's 9 times out of 10 you didn't get in the game. 9 times out of 10 you rode the bench because your uniform is squeaky clean. So you can't tell me about your glory days when all your pictures, your uniform is squeaky clean and not an ounce of dirt on it. These women don't need a man because Facebook and social media tells them how beautiful they are despite them being 200 plus. Tell them they're queens and all of this, no matter that they have children by degenerate men. They have bastard children plaguing the city, 16-year-old girls being murdered, innocent kids being shot. No, you don't see the mothers coming to the forefront saying, hey, that was my son, but let him go to Alabama. Let him go to LSU. Let him go to a D1 school. Let him go to the NBA. Let him go to the NFL. You have to damn near tear the camera away from her face from being so proud and taking all of the credit for getting her son to these levels in life. You damn near have to tie her down to take the camera out of her face so she can stop telling the world how proud and how good of a mother she is because her son plays for this school or that school, or plays for that team or this team, or raps with this group or that group. You see these women and they take pictures of their sons, and their sons are dressing a certain way, throwing up certain gang signs. Some of it is innocent, yes, but later on down the line, you see these same sons being caught up in bullshit, caught up in crimes, murders, robberies. And these women sit back and act as if they didn't see this coming because they want to be the best friend to their children. And that's another reason why they don't need a man, because they will turn their son into their man. I'm definitely going to do a video about son husbands. This is definitely a thing. And I asked my guy, he likes to troll a lot. He know who he is. I said, you want to get Facebook riled up today? I said, why do women dress their sons up like men that they would date, but men don't dress their daughters up like women that they would date? You see these 4-year-old boys, 3-year-old boys, toddlers with Gucci and Fendi and all of this mature clothing and attire on. And you have to ask, why do you want your 3-year-old son dressing like a grown man instead of a child? But you don't see a man dressing his little girl in Fashion Nova, now do you? You don't see a man dressing his daughter in leggings and crop tops, now do you? You don't see this. That is a question we must ask. But yes, son husbands are a thing. Women say, I don't need a man, I got my son. So they do everything to comfort him and welcome him and let him stay, lay up, get comfortable. Yeah, just get comfortable. Don't get comfortable anywhere. I did a video a few days ago. That goes for men too. That was just not for women. That was for you as well. These mothers make their sons very comfortable, therefore make it hard for them to leave. Why would I go and leave and be a man to a woman when my mother's my woman? Only thing I have to do is tell her I love her and how good of a mother she is, and she's going to give me money. She's going to buy me the J's. She's going to get me the PS5 that resells at $1,000 because she couldn't get it when it came out for the retail price. She'll pay double just to make sure that I have it. These are issues that we face. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Date Master.